Great. Hi, Josh. Thanks for coming in tonight. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Sure. What brings you in tonight?
It's just I've got a lot going on, grad school. The big saying right now is we call it dad school where I'm
Mm,
at because it's like dad's in grad school, but dad still got all of his dad stuff he's got to get done.
hmm
So just feeling, I don't know, it's like a combination of like overwhelmed at times and then a bit frustrated because I don't feel like I'm at that point now where it's like it's hard for me because being motivated is normally something I do really well with, but I'm kind of struggling a little bit because I don't feel like I feel like there's a disconnect between me and the things like my family right now because so much of my time is spent with work and then with internship hours, and then it's like, oh yeah, I got to write a paper, like there's those things too,
Yeah.
so it's just I'm feeling a bit disconnected from my family and from things, so that's kind of where I'm at right now, I guess.
So you got a lot going on. You've got feelings of
Hmm.
overwhelming, disconnecting from your family.
Hmm.
Tell me a little bit more about those feelings in particular.
Yeah. When I start to feel overwhelmed, and I'll kind of mix them together because they kind of happen at the same time, that disconnecting and
Hmm
overwhelming is, I start to kind of pull back. Part of it is I don't want it's kind of like if you don't get your hopes up, you can't get your feelings hurt.
Mm,
So
yeah.
it's like there's times where it's like, oh, I'd want to do this with my kids, or I want to go do this with my wife, but it's like, no, I'm gonna step back and just feel like I'm not gonna get disappointed and hurt my feelings because I know I can't do that because I don't have the time to kind of do it. So spending time with them is always been my biggest thing, and I don't feel like, spending enough time with, especially my oldest son because he's getting ready to go to school next year, out of
Mm.
college.
Okay.
So just shutting down, I'm getting a little irritable. I'm getting, and that kind of, when I get overwhelmed, I get grumpy.
Mm-hmm.
I get a little short with
Okay.
people.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to kind of build a wall of like keep away from me, so
Mm-hmm.
you don't,
Mm-hmm.
get your feelings hurt because I don't want to hurt my feelings. I don't want to hurt yours either, type thing. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's one way to put it.
Okay. Um, you said shutting down.
Yeah,
Describe a little bit more about the shutting down.
sure, sure. It's shutting down is like normally I'm like the really energy guy. I'm like the high energy, hey, how you doing? Kind of like getting everybody excited about a trip or do something, or we're gonna spend time together, or just goofing with my kids or whatever it is. And I definitely don't have the energy for it. And it's kind of more like, hey, instead of like, hey, how are you? It's like, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. And it's just, I don't have that kind of normal excitement for life right now because
Yeah.
it's, just I'm tired.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming, with everything going on, everything that's due.
And you mentioned something about your son going off to school and
Yeah.
your wife. Tell me a little bit more about your family dynamic and what it's like when you can't spend time with them. How are they accepting that?
Um, and that's the hard part because I feel like sometimes they're just fine, and it gets difficult because like, there's times where I feel like if I wasn't there, they'd still be fine and cool and be like no big deal and just doing life. And it kind of makes me feel like, I kind of devalue myself.
Hmm.
It's like I guess I'm not as important to them
Hmm.
as I wish I was or I thought I was. And like again, I start to kind of feel down and I get like low energy and I just kind of it's like I don't know. It's like I sit down and try to figure out like, do I want to fight for some time for them today, or do I do this other thing instead that I need to do?
hmm
And I always kind of tell myself, well, they're busy. They're if they really want to talk to me, do something, they'll come get me. You
Hmm.
know,
I could see where that would make you feel kind of sad.
yeah.
Low energy. Can we try something? A little exercise?
Sure.
Okay. Um, I want to take you back to a time where you may have felt a little devalued, a time where um, there was a time when you shut down, the earliest memory of a time where you may have shut down and felt devalued. Can you
Okay.
think of a time like that?
Actually, I can. It kind of comes to my mind right away. It's third grade. It was in
Oh,
third grade. It was a math class.
okay.
I was really good at math and like, like math and like the other classes were fine, but like I was a really good math student when I was real little.
Hmm.
And then I remember getting to third grade and having a situation where, trying to think the best way to put it. I thought I was doing well, and it was one of those things where they'll pull you up in front of the class and kind of like, hey, acknowledge you. And I was like, yep, there I'm getting ready to go up, and like three other kids got called up, and my name didn't get called at all. And
Oh,
I remember because like I was that kid that I was good at it, but I spent a lot. My mom was an elementary teacher, so I spent a lot of time at home working on these things,
mm-hmm.
you know, and everything from flashcards to this or that, and it's like it just sucks when you put a lot of work into something and you feel like you're going to get acknowledged, and then you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I can remember that. I can distinctly remember that class.
And what did you do with that feeling then?
Oh gosh. I got really spiteful. I just didn't care about math anymore. To be honest, I
Uh-huh.
was like, no, I don't care. I'm not putting in the work anymore. I'll do the other classes. I'll put my work there. But when it came to math, I just started kind of do bare bones. Like I'll do what you need from me, but I'm not doing extra work for flashcards. I'm not doing extra worksheets. I'm not raising my hand anymore to give the answers. I was a spiteful little third grader,
Mm-hmm.
which yeah, probably not the best thing, but I
Uh-huh.
distinctly remember like that. I was like, you're gonna get it, but you're just getting enough. That's it.
Yeah. Do you see any similarities between how you handled that in third grade and how you might be handling some of the shutting down, getting angry, kind of
Yeah,
getting
I mean,
sad?
I mean, the way it's kind of been presented this way, like, yeah, absolutely, because there's times where, like I mentioned, I don't put in the energy and stuff into sometimes, or because of the relationship, because I'm like, I'll ask, what am I gonna ask them to go to the movies, and they're gonna say no to me anyways, or I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna say, hey, let's go do this, or let's spend time at home doing whatever, and I get well, I'm busy, and it's like, well, forget you then, like, go live your life, and I'll just
Mm-hmm.
go take care of dad, and pay your bills, do the things I
Mm-hmm.
have to do, and so yeah, there is sometimes a connection where when I get frustrated or I get sad that like I'll kind of disconnect
Mm-hmm.
purposefully for sure. I think sometimes I do it maybe not recognizing it, but like do it because of self-preservation because I don't want to get my feelings hurt further, you
Sure.
know.
Sure.
So
And those are all coping skills, whether they help
yeah,
or they're good coping skills or not good coping skills, but they're ways that we've learned to survive one way
absolutely.
or another. Um, so with these sessions, we can work on healthier ways to learn how to cope. Would you be interested in that moving forward?
Yeah, this was really interesting kind of talking about this, and it's kind of now I'm seeing the connection
Hmm.
between what would happen and in the past and kind of what I'm still doing now. So yeah, I'm kind of I'm definitely interested in kind of figuring out like it's probably time I change some behaviors,
Okay.
at least my perspective on them. I'm not getting any younger, so yeah, that would probably be a good idea.
Great. So we can schedule another session and maybe continue to explore some of those behaviors and work on some healthier ways to cope.
All right,
Would
cool.
you?
Definitely can do
Okay.
that. Definitely.
Thanks, Josh.
All right, thanks, Kate.
Mhm.